Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And in today's episode, the topic is the Clippers' secret weapon that everyone is overlooking and no one is talking about. So that's the topic I'm going to get into in today's video. But before we get into that, I want you guys to please make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Also, check out our Dreamerspro Max, is an online sports community that we created. It's a place where you go and start basketball discussions, chat live during games, go live with us after games, consume original content that you're not going to be able to get anywhere else, and do so many other cool things. So if you guys are interested in that, be sure to check that out. We have that linked in the description below, and get 7 days of free access. Things are beginning to ramp up and people are beginning to sign up now a lot. So you don't want to miss out on that, especially as the NBA season is really starting to get interesting. So make sure you check that out. Anyway, let me get into this topic here. So last night I was watching the game. We were actually live chatting during the game last night, and I was watching the game, and I quickly noticed that although I got to the game about 3 to 4 minutes late before when it started, and I noticed that Paul George wasn't playing. I saw Luke Kennard in the starting lineup, and I immediately asked myself, I said, "Whoa, what's happening? Where are all these guys?" And then they told me that, listen, Paul George is out, Rajon Rondo's out, and I said, including Serge and Pat, I said to myself, I said, this is going to be a very long night. Kudos to Cato. Cato said, no, they're going to win the game. I didn't feel so in the first quarter. But I thought to myself, I said, this is going to be a very long night. But little did I know that the Clippers had a trump card that I was not paying attention to. And that trump card has been Terrence Mann. Listen, guys, I can't say enough about this guy. I cannot say enough about Terrence Mann and the type of player that he's turning into. As I was saying it earlier in the chat, during the game, I was saying that, listen, I haven't paid enough attention to this guy this season, right? He's just been somebody that's kind of been flying under the radar. He's a second-year player. Earlier in the season, he didn't get a lot of minutes, but given the fact that guys have been injured, guys have been in and out of the lineup now with the absence of Patrick Beverley and their starting point guard, who I think is going to be Rajon Rondo, he's been getting a lot of minutes. And now that Lou Williams is gone, he's also been getting a lot of minutes. So listen, the Clippers traded away Lou Williams, and I think it's because they believe that Terrence Mann is going to help them fill the void. And boy, has he been filling the void for this guy. He's been one of the major reasons for the Clippers winning these last 6 games. I don't think there's any two ways to say that. Just last night, he scored 14 points. This is off the bench. 14 points, got you 6 assists, 6 rebounds, 1 block, and not a single turnover in that game. How many sophomore players can come in a game, coming off the bench, put up those type of numbers and not even have one mistake, one blunder, one turnover? That's very hard to do, especially given the fact that they were playing against a very good Milwaukee Bucks team, knowing that he needed to play almost a perfect game and not have a single turnover. This is one of the reasons why I said, whenever Terrence Mann is in a game, good things usually tend to happen for the Clippers. I don't know what it is about this guy, but he always has a positive effect on his team. Good things always seem to happen. I don't know if it's his energy, which seems to be contagious. He has a very high basketball IQ. He was making some cross-court passes, some driving kicks, and I was like, whoa, he saw that guy? I was like, wow, very impressive pass. He was making some very good passes yesterday, hitting open shooters. He plays under control. He never seems rushed. He's very athletic. He's a great slasher. He's good at getting to the basket. He has he takes some very large strides. He's a very tall, let's say, point guard / shooting guard. I think he's 6'5", so he has a lot of good size to him. He can hit the open three. He makes hustle plays. He can hustle. He can make a hustle play. He can defend at a very high level. He has a lot of length. He's very athletic. This guy brings so many things to this team that helps him win. Terrence Mann plays winning basketball. For a kid that's only 24 years old, for him to be this leveled as a player just in his second year, I think is very impressive. He plays under a lot of control. He has a good temperament to his game. Over the last 6 games, Terrence Mann is averaging 15 points per game. Over the last 6 games. This is over their winning streak. He's been averaging 15 points. Well, there you go. There's a person that's going to supplant or replace Lou Williams. Lou Williams is averaging about 13 or 12 or 13 points per game. This kid is averaging 15 off the bench. And for the regular season, he's averaging 6.1 points per game. And over these 6 games, his scoring has jumped from 6 points to 15 points per game. Listen, Terrence Mann is having a hell of a season. And every single day, he seems to be getting better. Every time you go out there and you watch him, he's getting a little bit better, a little bit better. His decision-making is improving. His shots improve. The guy can hit open threes. Y'all remember that game that they had against Atlanta Hawks? It was because of Terrence Mann and Luke Kennard. Those guys were the main 2 reasons that they came back in that win. Those 2 guys and Terrence Mann hit the corner 3 to actually put the Clippers ahead of the Atlanta Hawks, if you guys remember. So this guy, listen, I think if he continues to play like this, I think we're gonna see flashes of this guy possibly becoming a star in the playoffs. And it's funny because going into this season, no one factored him in as being a factor, as being a threat. But now when you look at the Clippers and you now factor in the growth of Terrence Mann, this team is one of the deepest teams in the NBA. Some people will say, listen, the Brooklyn Nets are the deepest team in the NBA, but I think the Clippers are the deepest team in the Western Conference, and I don't even think it's close. I think the Clippers are the deepest team in the Western Conference, and I don't think it's close. If I go through their... Okay, let's talk about their players. Rajon Rondo, Patrick Beverley, Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson. Those are just their point guards / guards. Then you have Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Marcus Morris Sr., Nicholas Batum, Ivica Zubac, Luke Kennard, Serge Ibaka. Like, I just named 11 guys that could all get minutes on this team at on a consistent basis. And now you're throwing in another player in Terrence Mann. The Clippers are a very, very, very deep team. And now with this kid, you're adding a slasher, right? This was a player that they didn't have before. Usually it would be Kawhi, but Kawhi Leonard does other things and Paul George does other things. But now you're adding another slasher, somebody that can collapse the defense. You saw at different points in the game that were running a lot of zone defense. He was able to penetrate that defense because of his ability to puncture the defense because he could slash, right? So I think Terrence Mann, when the Clippers get to the playoffs and he continues to improve, I think he's going to give them some valuable minutes in the playoffs. Right, because I think he's beginning to earn the respect of his peers, of his colleagues, of the other his teammates, but also of the coaching staff. Because every time he goes in a game, good things happen, and I'm sure they're going to reward him at some point in the playoffs and give him some minutes. And I'm sure he's going to make some game-winning plays because this guy plays championship-winning basketball. He plays the right way. He's not a selfish player. He plays under control. He knows his role on the team. The kid has no ego, and you can see that he's making a lot of winning plays for this team. And trust me, I think we need to start paying more attention to him. And by we, I mean me. I need to pay more attention to him. The NBA is not going to pay attention to him. Just last night, we did a video. We did a video on Nick Wright and the Clippers. They didn't even mention this guy, like as if he never played. But let it be THT from the Lakers. All of a sudden, people will be talking about, oh, this is the next coming of Kobe Bryant, right? This kid, let me tell you something. This kid has a lot of upside, and I see him being a major contributor in the playoffs. Not a major, but I think he's going to be able to contribute to this team, and I think we need to pay more attention to him. So what I want to know from you guys is, do you think that this kid is a diamond in the rough, and do you think he's going to have an impact on this team moving forward in the very near future? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro, wishing you guys an amazing day and catch you guys on the next episode. Peace.